Okay, well, we're back from executive session, everybody. Let's go straight to Councilmember Rustic. Would you please like to make the motion?
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome.
A motion authorizing the mayor to execute and administer a new interlocal agreement with Snoqualmie for police services in a form substantially similar to the red line version presented in the council meeting tonight. Should Snoqualmie fail to execute the new interlocal agreement, the mayor shall be authorized to initiate litigation and/or assert counterclaims against Snoqualmie to determine contractual rights, obligations, and costs related to the provisions of police services.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Councilman Rustic and seconded by Mr. Gottelf. Ms. Rustic, would you like to speak to your motion?
Well, after obviously a significant amount of discussion, we've come back with a counter proposal that I think meets the needs of both North Bend and the city of Snoqualmie. And so we are, in the interest of public safety, wanting to move forward with an agreement that gets us positive police services. So
Thank you very much. Mr. Gottelf, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'd like to clarify that being put under the gun and getting a certain amount of time to do this is not a proper way to negotiate. I have concerns with what we've negotiated and what we've got here. I continue, and I think we continue to assert that we had original agreements when we terminated the agreement to the original agreement, and Snoqualmie should be abiding by that. But if this is going to move us forward in the right direction, I'm supportive of it. But I hope we don't continue to be pulled into this and understand that as a city, we need at least 2 weeks' notice to be able to negotiate this and be able to, educate our council and the rest of the administration on what they're asking. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And anybody else from council wish to make a comment? Mark.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome.
First, I want to acknowledge this council, my colleagues, for their continued due diligence, prioritization, willingness to engage in these ongoing challenging conversations in an effort to, yes, prioritize public safety, the provision of police services, and keeping our community safe. That's a top priority for all of us, and none of us wanted it to play out exactly as it has, but here we are. And again, I just want to acknowledge my colleagues. I also want to say that I think we continue to act in the best interest of our citizens and also our neighbors. We are neighbors. It's been hard. It's hard to serve on council and be provided guidance from staff. I'm mildly sympathetic to Snoqualmie and their interests as they continue to. In fact, this is negotiation, is what's going on, and I simply want to acknowledge that. I hope they give this due consideration. Appreciate the situation we're in. We are transitioning to the King County Sheriff's Office, and we need them to help us with that. Quite frankly, we're still reliant upon them to provide police services to our community, and I have no expectation that they will shirk or fail in that duty. And I just want to acknowledge that I appreciate that. It's at, again, the core of why we're engaged in all of this together. I will be supportive of the motion that's come forward tonight. And I will leave it at that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mark. Anybody else? Errol.
Yeah, I'd echo some of the comments from Councilmember Jocelyn, but I'd also just like to say that this is an abnormal place to be, right? And for both Snoqualmie and North Bend, police departments aren't meant to vamp up and then wind down. It's a complicated situation. Neither council is necessarily prepared for how to execute this operationally. I think we need to find common ground and work together for both our residents and our friends in Snoqualmie. A safe Snoqualmie is a safe North Bend, and vice versa. I hope our colleagues in Snoqualmie take this offer seriously and sincerely. We'd like to find a way to make this work for both parties. There is no golden path on how to do this. There's clearly some language in our ILA, but there is also reality, and reality is difficult operationally. And I hope they know that. And this ILA, as we're sending over, I think speaks to that and acknowledges the fact that they need the time to wind down just as much as we need the services while we wind up.
Thank you, Errol. Anybody else I might have missed? Nope. Susan? Thank you.
So, I agree with what my colleagues, everything they've said. And we need to, as council, act in the best interest of our city, of our citizens. And that also affects the citizens of Snoqualmie. I mean, all of our friends are in Snoqualmie and all of their friends are in North Bend. There's a line there that it's not just like a wall. We go back and forth between the two cities. And we need to be able to make sure that everybody's protected. This has been very challenging. I'm not really sure why we get these messages from the mayor of Snoqualmie that we need to respond in one day, like on Wednesday, that we're told today we need to respond by tomorrow. And it seems really unrealistic. I mean, if you want to really work with us, be reasonable and set a timeline what works for council, because we don't meet every single day. And it's just very challenging and makes it difficult. I think what we're presenting is a good proposal. I think that we have all along, even before I was on council, the city of North Bend has always been very negotiable. Whenever they needed something different, we've come to the table and made negotiations. And so I just hope that the council members from Snoqualmie understand that and that we can work on this together. I would prefer us not to go to court. I'd really like them to come to the table and work with us on this. And I hope that they do. So that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you, Susan. Anybody else? I think I got everybody. Yeah. Okay, the motion authorizing the mayor to execute and administer a new interlocal agreement with Snoqualmie for police services in a form substantially similar to the red line version presented in the council meeting tonight. Should Snoqualmie fail to execute the new interlocal agreement, the mayor shall be authorized to initiate litigation and/or assert counterclaims against Snoqualmie to determine contractual rights, obligations, and costs related to the provision of police services. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, council members, for all your efforts, your due diligence tonight, as always. Thank you, much appreciated. We are going to be adjourned if I get a motion.
So moved.
Oh, well, beautiful. Thank you. And away you go. Thank you very much. Motion by Mr. Gottelf and a combined effort with Torgerson and Brendan for the call, the third. We'll go for it. We are adjourned. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for all your efforts again, as always. Take care.
Aye.
Bye.